back to the main stage and the Motorfest Walk of Fame. It's the place to be if you really want to become a Motorfest legend. Each month is a chance for your name to be marked onto the stars. Here's the Motorfest legend of last month. This month, a new legend rises to the challenge.
Shall we continue our journey, my dear? Our next stop holds a special place in my heart. Germany. Flagship of technological innovation. It's no wonder their cars are still among the fastest in the world. Those remarkable vehicles have managed to marry performance with beauty. Let's pay a visit to my esteemed colleague from the Porsche Museum to hear just one example of this.
In between the 80 cars we're showing here, the car GT is one of the top stars. If you think about the design, it's timeless. You wouldn't expect this is 25 years of age. From the heart of Porsche here at the Porsche Museum, welcome to the main stage. Viel Spaß!
Let's give the new playlist a spin.
As the Motorfest archivist, I had the privilege to be invited by prestigious European car manufacturers for a special visit. This was the beginning of my European tour, and the starting point for your new car culture experience. My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. French elegance, German peak engineering.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
British craftsmanship.
Experience the bike that we already love. Character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you, and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
This time, the Motorfest will deliver this playlist to you on a weekly basis. Each week, a new chapter of the Luxury Chronicles for you to enjoy the luxury cars throughout the whole season. Let's see what's coming up. The tour starts now. Our archivist has documented the whole thing, so we can share with you here in Hawaii his luxury chronicles. Each car you'll be driving in this playlist is related to our archivist journey. Get to the event tag and discover what our luxury car authority has in store for you.
My trip back to Europe would lead me first to France, with a schedule full of promise. I couldn't wait to meet the people from Bugatti, embodiment of French car luxury, and spend time with some of the most brilliant machines in the country. But my very first meeting was with an equally interesting manufacturer and a rather peculiar car. Genti Automobile and their first creation, the Accolone. My European journey was starting far from the buzzing cities, in the small village of Saint-Yor, in central France. When you get these notes, driver, you'll be driving the roads of Maui in the very cars I'm writing about, to get a proper French luxury feel without leaving Hawaii or the festival. The Accolone and Genti Automobile were such an interesting starting point for my tour. A newcomer to the French luxury car market, and their very first machine. This was very exciting. I got to learn everything I needed to know about this car. A car born from the passion of a creator who dreamed of building his own luxury hypercar with 4-figure horsepower and an unparalleled power-to-weight ratio from scratch. By the time you, driver, get my notes, the result should be in your hands. excellence, rarity, and soul. The Accolone by Genti Automobile.
How was this luxury ride for an introduction? For the next event of this playlist, we're going deeper into the French luxury car market. Get ready to hear everything about our archivist's second stop.
Despite its rare and premium nature, luxury cars can take many forms and come from many places. Of course, they often come from well-established luxury manufacturers, and I was about to see a lot of these on my journey. But my visit at Genti has shown us that a luxury car can bloom from the vision and passion of a single person. And today, my second stop in France has shown that luxury cars can also come from manufacturers that usually keep their distance from the luxury world. This stop was about a French everyday car manufacturer, Citroën, and their famous Citroën GT. The GT is a car which, according to its main engineer in 2008, was meant to be the supercar of 2025, the same year as this European trip. Talk about apropos. This car was originally made for a video game, but it had such an impact that they decided to make it a reality. At the time, the possibility of having the GT be mass-produced was real. But in the end, the incredible vehicle would remain a concept car for the world to admire and a very privileged few to drive. With the Echelon and this Citroën GT, my tour was off to a great start. And it was only the beginning.
Things are getting serious. You're now about to focus on the most luxurious of French luxury car brands. No need to think twice. You've already guessed it. Our next event, Bugatti, Now and Then.
At last, it was finally time for me to make a stop in Molsheim, home of the French luxury car brand par excellence, Bugatti. There is absolutely no way I could have skipped this more than 110-year-old institution. My enthusiasm was vindicated, as I got to spend some time with the legendary machine that is the 1936 Type 57 SC Atlantic. Designed by Jean Bugatti, one of the most beautiful Bugattis ever made. A car that embodies Bugatti's pioneering spirit and passion for perfection. What a pleasure it was to take this venerable machine through the picturesque countryside roads of France. Four units of this car were made at the time, including a single all-black version that John Bugatti kept for himself. Unfortunately, its whereabouts are a long-standing mystery, as that particular vehicle disappeared during World War II. Or did she? To be honest, this special moment with Bugatti was one of the highlights of my European tour, especially when you know which car they're going to bring next. La Voiture Noire, a a direct tribute to that all-black Type 57 SC I just mentioned. One of the most beautiful and most expensive cars in the world. Exclusivity, artistry, performance, and luxury. A car that is undoubtedly a worthy successor to Jean Bugatti's personal masterpiece. I'm pretty sure the man would have loved to see this. Anyway, for me, this was the perfect end to a perfect day. Festival goers, I hope you'll enjoy driving these as much as I did admiring them in their native land.
The Luxury Chronicles continue. We're staying with Bugatti for one last French spin, with a luxurious yet very intimidating car.
Day 4 of my glorious French sojourn. I was staying at Bugatti's for another day, and as the icing on the cake, Bugatti served me one last exclusive piece of art on a plate. The Bugatti Vision GT. Another car originally designed for the video game industry that made it to the real world. For my pleasure. And yours. If you're currently driving this car, and I believe you are, be cautious. This car may be a jewel. Once awakened, she becomes a beast. With that, my time with Bugatti and the French section of my tour were coming to an end. My next destination, Germany.
This was a dive into French car haute couture. You're now entering the second part of this luxury vehicle experience, still narrated by our archivist. So next stop, Germany. A very special German car has been prepared for you.
After a marvelous French introduction, I was now flying to Germany to pursue my work on the European luxury brands. I was expecting great things from the upcoming meetings. This leg of the journey was a promising one, as I was about to meet my esteemed counterpart at Porsche.
My name is Frank Jung, and I'm responsible here at the Porsche AG for the corporate archive and the car collection. The archive is kind of the memory of the brand, the memory of Porsche. In between the 80 cars we're showing here, the car GT is one of the top stars. Top sports car of its time, a high-performance machine. And it's mainly made by hand.
My luxury chronicles were really shaping up, with one incredible encounter after another.
Здравейте!
And now, I was about to see Porsche as never before, with a special focus on the Porsche Carrera GT. Talking about German luxury cars without talking about Porsche would be nonsense. It is one of the names that belongs in the pantheon of luxury car culture. Guided by my fellow archivist from Stuttgart, I was being honored with an insider tour of their museum, from which I was getting priceless notes and pictures for my archives and for Motorfest. Among all the jewels that surrounded us, the Carrera GT took a special place in our day. A car car born from a streak of Porsche victories, made to compete with the greatest. Top sports car in the 2000s, and dare I say, one of the top sports cars of all time. What a day, and what a car. I couldn't have dreamed of a better way to start my trip in Germany.
It is hard to beat Porsche when it comes to German luxury cars. Well, don't worry. Our archivist and the Motorfest organizers have got you covered. You'll see. Luxury Chronicles Europe, Germany. Second stop, Apollo Automobile.
My Germany tour is officially on. After an incredible first stop in Stuttgart, I had the distinct pleasure of spending a day with Apollo Automobile and an absolute marvel of a car, the Apollo Project Evo. This car, which is still under development as I write these lines, is definitely one of the boldest and most aggressive-looking cars I've seen in my long career. The active aerodynamics, the fins, that rear spoiler, and X-Light signature, everything in this car's design screams, "You're getting eaten alive." And this interior, you really have to see it to believe it. Nothing short of a superhero car. There's only one existing prototype at the moment. The one I just got the chance to discover. Note to self. I really must convince Apollo to lend this car to Motorfest for our upcoming luxury cars playlist.
Be kind, rewind.
Luxury is elegance, fine materials, and high-precision craftsmanship. But it is also the freedom to embrace a hardline approach and go all the way.
After Porsche and Apollo, our archivist was only halfway through his European journey. In the next event, we'll hear what he had to say about his seventh stop, a day at Audi, with a focus on a luxury racing car. Get ready to step in the world of gentleman drivers.
My trip was getting me to dig even deeper into German car culture. The people from Audi were now expecting me in the beautiful town of Ingolstadt in Bavaria.
One more time.
The car that they had prepared for me, and the one you, driver, should be driving when you get these notes, was a great surprise and a great addition to our luxury vehicle experience. The 2020 Audi R8 LMS GT2. A true racing car, as it was built for a very specific Grand Touring competition, the GT2 European Series. Yet also a true luxury car, as the GT2 event is in fact a particular championship designed for amateur pay drivers, a racing category for what we call the gentleman drivers. A category in which this Audi R8 is queen.
Let's call this a duo.
the Audi R8 LMS GT2, a car that was first introduced at Goodwood's Festival of Speed. One might wonder why.
Welcome back. For the next event of our Luxury Chronicles playlist, the Archivist relates his stop at Mercedes, and you'll get to drive yet another extremely powerful car. Looks like luxury often goes together with mean performance in Germany.
My last day in Germany led me to Mercedes for yet another thrilling ride. My ultimate appointment in this country was set with the breathtaking Mercedes AMG 1. The one and only, as Mercedes would say. Like all the German machines I had the pleasure to admire over the course of my trip, the Mercedes AMG 1 was indubitably on the powerful side. That's an understatement, as the One was built from the dream of bringing Formula One technology to the road. A dream that was meant to come true. Everything in this car screams Formula One. Powertrain, materials, interior. And I believe world champion Lewis Hamilton himself helped Mercedes in the development of this car. To the driver who'll get behind the wheel of this machine in the festival, you're probably not ready. My German trip was ending wonderfully with this Mercedes AMG 1. I was content and ready to move on to the last part of my trip.
The next Luxury Chronicles episode is not ready yet, but don't go too far. It'll be available soon. Today is a red letter day. You're signing up for one of our most exclusive experiences to date. A partnership with the quintessential sports car manufacturer, Ferrari, the prancing horse. An alliance that will for sure go down in Motorfest history. To be your guide on this pilgrimage through excellence, we've invited our resident scholar and authority on luxury cars, the Motorfest archivist. Sir, you're up.
Thank you, dear. Hello, driver. Pleased to meet you. As your lovely onboard assistance device just mentioned, I'll be your chaperone for this playlist. Although chaperone perhaps isn't the right word. More like a host, I believe. Well, this is not my usual job, but it is Ferrari we're talking about, so, well, how could I refuse? There are so many things I'd like to say, so many things I dug out from my archives. But first things first, Let's get you to Maui's brand new Ferrari museum. Here you are. Look at this place. Let's drive to the main building. I believe the director of the Ferrari Museums has a few words to say.
New challenges unlocked. Shall we continue our journey, driver?
As the Motorfest archivist, I had the privilege to be invited by prestigious European car manufacturers for a special visit. This was the beginning of my European tour, and the starting point for your new car culture experience. My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. French elegance. German peak engineering.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
British craftsmanship.
Experience the bike that we already love. Character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you, and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
More Luxury Chronicles content will be available soon, so stick around. Today is a red letter day. You're signing up for one of our most exclusive experiences to date. A partnership with the quintessential sports car manufacturer, Ferrari, the prancing horse. An alliance that will for sure go down in Motorfest history. To be your guide on this pilgrimage through excellence, we've invited our resident scholar and authority on luxury cars, the Motorfest archivist. Sir, you're up.
Thank you, dear. Hello, driver. Pleased to meet you. As your lovely onboard assistance device just mentioned, I'll be your chaperone for this playlist. Although chaperone perhaps isn't the right word. More like a host, I believe. Well, this is not my usual job, but it is Ferrari we're talking about, so, well, how could I refuse? There are so many things I'd like to say. So many things I dug out from my archives. But first things first, let's get you to Maui's brand new Ferrari museum. Here you are. Look at this place. Let's drive to the main building. I believe the director of the Ferrari Museums has... a few words to say.
My name is Michele Pignatti Morano. I am the director of the Ferrari Museums. Here we are where there is the birthhouse of Enzo Ferrari. Each Ferrari is different. Each Ferrari was the best in the world in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car. Ferrari is a legend. is just exceptionally full of excellence.
This is Ferrari Supercars, a partnership with the Enzo Ferrari Museum of Modena. Let's move on to another activity.
There's a particular kind of Ferrari we're going to speak a lot about today. The Ferrari. Supercars. The car you're about to drive in this opening event is none other than the first Ferrari in the supercar bloodline, the Ferrari GTO.
As the Motorfest archivist, I had the privilege to be invited by prestigious European car manufacturers for a special visit. This was the beginning of my European tour, and the starting point for your new car culture experience. My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. French elegance, German peak engineering.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
British craftsmanship.
Experience the bike that we already love. Character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you, and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
The next Luxury Chronicles episode is not ready yet, but don't go too far. It'll be available soon. Back to where we left off.
the tale of a...
What's up? I'm Rick.
As the Motorfest archivist, I had the privilege to be invited by prestigious European car manufacturers for a special visit. This was the beginning of my European tour, and the starting point for your new car culture experience. My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. French elegance, German peak engineering.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
British craftsmanship.
Experience the bike that we already love. Character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you, and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
The next Luxury Chronicles episode is not ready yet, but don't go too far. It'll be available soon. Visualize your next objective, and let's go. A playlist is ready to try. Let's go try it. giving a brand new plate. This to go.
There's a particular kind of Ferrari we're going to speak a lot about today. The Ferrari supercars. The car you're about to drive in this opening event is none other than the first Ferrari in the supercar bloodline, the Ferrari GTO.
first supercars that we can define is the GTO. GTO was very simple. If we just start from the name, it was Gran Turismo Omologato. The definition of supercars is very simple. It's the top expression of that period in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car of that period. People call it the 288 GTO, but that is not the correct definition. The definition for that car is the GTO. Punto.
To Ferrari, supercar is a term that refers to milestones in motoring history. All supercars are limited series and the product of Enzo Ferrari's philosophy, aiming to make every new model the best car of its time. That means that every new addition to the lineage is the embodiment of leading-edge research that sets the standard for cars worldwide. You'll drive all the Ferrari supercars on this adventure, but for now, just enjoy the collector's piece that is the Gran Turismo Omologato, or like Mr. Pignati Morano said, simply GTO. This car is, in essence, a special version of another iconic Ferrari, the 308 GTS. And, as intended, it is one of the fastest street-legal production cars of its time. Interesting fact from my archives. Three-time racing world champion Niki Lauda owned one of the few GTOs produced. A gift from Enzo Ferrari himself. Beautiful sight. It takes me back to the legacy tour Ferrari organized back in 2024. A GTO tribute tour set in the stunning surroundings of the Italian Dolomites. Organized exactly 40 years after Ferrari introduced the supercar at the 1984 Geneva Motor Show. But enough from me. Just listen to the car you're driving. She'll tell you her story herself. Welcome to the world of Ferrari, my young friend. A world where legends live among us to tell their stories loud and clear. I was delighted with that introduction. You may now head towards the northern part of the bay to make the acquaintance of the next two supercars in our Ferrari lineup. You heard me right. The next event will feature not one, but two cars for you to drive. On one hand, the inspired and inspiring Ferrari F40. And on the other hand, nothing less than a road-legal Formula One, the Ferrari F50. You're here. Mr. Pignati Morano will start with a few words, then I'll take over.
The Ferrari F40. Enzo Ferrari's ultimate vision.
Everybody recognizes the F40. It sparks a memory. It has some magic. I see it in the museum. When people walk into a museum and see an F40, you really see the emotion in the eyes. The F40 stands out immediately. The F40 is such a beautiful masterpiece, and we still had Enzo Ferrari giving his input on that car. And I think that is extremely important. That makes this car even more precious. It was a relationship between the driver and the car, and that made it unique.
The Ferrari F40, second vehicle of the manufacturer to earn the prestigious supercar status, and a car that has shaken the motorsports industry to its core. Timed to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, this Ferrari, bearing the apropos designation F40, was the last Ferrari automobile personally approved by Enzo Ferrari and made under the supervision of the Commendatore himself. The result is an aggressive car with animalistic behavior and a stripped-down interior befitting its obvious racing heritage. Brutal and uncompromising. A car that has since become the epitome of Ferrari's brand identity. A car that still is in the heart of many. The greatest sports car ever made. And again, at the time, the fastest Ferrari ever created. This is a machine that has a mind of her own. Talk to her, listen to her, find your common ground, and you'll get one of the best driving experiences of your life.
Mulligan!
Looks like you two had a deep conversation out there. Very well. This is how you make history.